This is going to be a part 3 to my Why Negro Men Can't Impress Women series. And in this video, I'm going to talk about this Afro-American Negro man and why size just doesn't matter. Now, many of these Afro-American Negro men believe that the myth about how large their penises are, and because they have a large penis, they can sexually satisfy a woman. And a lot of these Negroes usually wind up being played because they buy into this myth. Now, while they're thinking that they have these amazing penis skills and that they're satisfying this woman, what's really going on behind his back is she's amassing a nice little graveyard of skeleton bones between her legs. Because if you follow logic, if this woman were satisfied by that one penis, then why is she out here having carnal relations with your Negro pastor, your foreign store owner, or the milkman, or whoever may be? So that really does not impress her. Some women may be interested in that, but overall, there's other things that she's interested in. But you can't tell this Afro-American Negro this. He believes that because he can swing a large penis, that he's going to satisfy this woman and that she is going to only be his exclusively. No, that is not the case at all. If that were the case, then why would she be running around with different men amassing a graveyard of skeleton bones between her legs? Why would she do that? Why would she be out here having her fun with, again, that Negro pastor, that foreign store owner, Bobby down the block, Rondell across the street? And this is something that many of these women out here don't want to tell this Afro-American Negro. Because again, if the Negro man were to learn the truth about stuff that his female does, he might stop dealing with her, and the flow of gifts and trinkets in exchange for time in the graveyard may end. And the women don't want the time in the graveyard. They don't want the gifts and trinkets to end. So they try to keep these skeleton bones buried deep and tight in the graveyard. Um, but your Afro-American Negro man believes that this impresses her. This is going to make her so excited to be with him. And again, not at all impressive to her. You are not going, again, to impress this female with any of these things because females know that they can pretty much use their graveyard as a tool to manipulate many of these gullible, easy to manipulate Negro men and have them literally fighting over something that is pretty much available all over the world. Many of these Negro men just never understand the fact that there are 4 women for every 1 man, and many Negro men just don't value themselves. So they'll sit here and try to chase females, trying to offer them things instead of understanding to discover their own value and their own worth. And they think that if they have have a incredible sexual prowess or a good in the bedroom, again, that's going to impress women. That's going to be attractive to women, and that's not attractive to women at all. Because if that was the case, then why is she offering her body to all of these other guys who, in many cases, are fat, bald, um, out of shape, and in many cases, ugly? And these guys are getting the exact same amount of time in the graveyard that you're getting, and you're thinking, oh, I'm the hottest guy, this is my woman. But these other guys are getting the exact same thing, and you're getting, and you're thinking that it has the same value. This is what's so backwards, about this Afro-American Negro. He's out here trying to impress females, trying to show them, how big he is, how bad he is, how incredibly tough he is, or in this case, how sexually endowed he is. But in most cases, people are looking at him and laughing at him because after they've had their fun, they go on and look for another guy to use as a tool because again, they see this man as a tool. They do not respect him. They are not impressed by him. And that, again, goes beyond skin color of females. Most females look at this Negro as a stepping stone to getting with another man. If you look at, again, these NBA players, these rappers, after these females have their fun, they move on to the next man. And usually the next man is another man of color or a white guy. And the reason why they do that is because they feel that they've got enough assets and they've had their fun with this Negro and they're pretty much tired of him. So now they want to move on to the next level. They see the Negro as a starter man. And the Negro, he's not smart enough to see that he's being used. In fact, he's thinking that he's getting the very best when when many of these women pretty much are barely giving him the minimum. They barely give him the minimum time, they barely give him the minimum attention, and they just string him along until something better comes along because they don't, again, see the Negro as anybody valuable in their life. They don't see him as anybody significant in their life. And they were never impressed by him or his attachments or his man toys. They just saw those little trinkets and baubles as a way of seeing a guy that they could easily use and easily manipulate. And now I have to add the qualifier, not all, because in most cases with this Afro-American Negro, this is how it goes because, again, the Negro approaches women from the wrong perspective. He is trying to impress this female, but this female, again, was never impressed from day one. Again, she knew from the first 5 seconds of looking at this man whether he was somebody she would respect or somebody she would use as a tool. But you can't tell this to the Negro, again, because what he thinks like a female, and if you try to present him with information that is contradictory to what his mother and his teachers told him, he's going to get emotional, he's going to take it personal, and instead of trying to process that information, he's going to want to bicker and argue about it. But most of these guys have no idea that they are pretty much being used as sexual tools to satisfy these women, and she is not interested really in a relationship with him. She will string him along and make him think he's in a relationship, but meanwhile, behind his back, she's having fun with these other guys, and he's sitting there at home thinking that this is his woman, she loves him, she cares for him, when in actuality, he's just a starter and a stepping stone, and when she sees something better again, she's going to move on to that next level. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.